Today I'll be showing you how to clean the throttle body, or what you need to do to clean the throttle body on your Toyota Tacoma. This is a 2012 4-liter V6 engine. Engine has 61,000 miles. It's never been cleaned, so I don't have any issues right now, but as a rough idling, but I decided, since it's super simple, why not do it? And all you need is a 10 millimeter, a throttle body cleaner, a new gasket, and that's it. Maybe a toothbrush. So to start off, you will remove your positive terminal, remove the cover. There's 2 screws or bolts which I remove them. Nuts, I mean, it's these cap nuts. They're 10 millimeters. Once you remove them, you have access to that's your air filter and your intake manifold. You have your throttle body. This is the guy that we're going to be cleaning. So to remove, you're not going to remove this side. You're removing from this connection all the way back. So there are two bolts, one right here, 10 millimeter, and then another one right down there. It's a 10 millimeter. And then also you're going to loosen up this bracket, which is right there. It's a 10 millimeter. And you're also going to loosen, that's what I'm gonna do, loosen this one. It's also a 10 millimeter. Once you loosen this up, you're gonna remove this hose. Just pull it that way, and then once you remove this bolt and this bolt, this intake should all come up, and just wiggle it around. Also, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna remove the air filter. So I'll remove these things right here, so that way it gives me additional clearance. And then I'll just separate this from here, and then put this on the ground. Move this aside, and then the rest of this right here, I'll just move it aside. Another thing to do is you are going to move, this is a clamp, see, clamp, bunny ears. You're gonna remove this clamp, or move this clamp down, and move this hose down. This is flexible. It's rubber right here, so when you pull it and when you put it back, make sure you give it support, because I don't know if it'll break, but just give some support. So once you have removed all of that and you have loosened this, you'll do the same thing. Just wiggle it around to slide it off, to slide this rubber off from the throttle body. And then once you slide it off, it'll just come out, and you'll see in the video what it'll look like, or later in the video. Then remove these. There's 4 bolts, one here, and then 2 on the opposite side, so 2 at the bottom. And these are 10 millimeters. When you put them back, they're torqued to 15 foot-pounds. If you don't have a foot-pound torque wrench, and you have an inch-pound, that'll be 180 inch-pound of that you're gonna tighten them up. Also, disconnect your throttle body, so that way you have wiggle room to move around and do really good house cleaning in here. And there's going to be 2 hoses that are on the back side of this guy. I don't recommend taking that off. It's not really needed. It's not on the weight. It still gives you the room to move this around, flex it, So if you remove those 2 hoses, and I'll show you later, you're gonna lose a little bit of coolant. Shouldn't worry about it, because your reservoir, it's got additional coolant there to use if you lose it, but you run the risk of creating air bubbles. So my advice to you is, do not take it off. Just leave it in there. This engine has 61,000 miles as of right now, and this is the mess that I've created. It looks bad, but it's actually pretty simple. Did end up disconnecting the throttle body, so that way it gives me room to move this around. One thing is, do not remove these 2 lines that you see back here, this one and this one. These are coolant lines. So I've actually already cleaned this, and it was pretty dirty. I did use a shirt underneath, so that way the throttle body doesn't go everywhere underneath. you know, wires wherever it may go. So just to play safe, I put a t-shirt. And some people decide, I've seen and read blogs where some people do not actually remove this from here. So if you don't want to remove it, you're only cleaning a little bit on this side. You can push the butterfly. It's not gonna hurt it. Anyways, some people decide to leave this on the intake and just spray it, or just use a wipe, or, you know, piece of shirt and just wipe on the inside. But that doesn't completely do a good job. So I ended up removing do not spray inside here. So what I did is I used a paper towel, and this was actually from what was inside right here. I didn't spray in here. I sprayed this guy onto this paper and then wiped the wet throttle body liquid in here to remove whatever I could. Doesn't have to be perfectly clean, but just try to remove as much as possible. And these are, it's held by 4 long bolts, and these are torqued to 15 foot-pounds. If you don't have I advise that you use a torque wrench. It's advised that you get a new gasket to put it here. So before I actually started spraying the liquid from here to here, I removed this just to be safe. The liquid doesn't eat this rubber, so I took it off, and I ended up ordering one on the internet. But I didn't know. I googled, and this is the number that came up for this specific engine. But for some reason this gasket does not fit. It's a little too big, maybe by about ½ an inch. And so I don't know what I'm gonna do with this. I guess keep it, souvenir, whatever. So to clean the inside of here, I pushed the butterfly with one finger, and then I used a toothbrush. These are the toothbrush that I get from the dentist. Anyways, I use a toothbrush to clean the inside of here, you know, really well. And then I would spray some more of this, spray really good in there, and then use a shirt to wipe it. And then if I see there was some dirty spots, I would repeat. And you don't want to use a steel brush because you will actually damage. This is aluminum, by the way. You will damage. So this is just plastic. This is safe for your teeth. So this did an excellent job at cleaning here. So thank you, Mr. Dentist, for the free toothbrush. And I did the same thing. I brushed it from inside here and in here. Okay, so as you can see, I have a flashlight on the other side. See, flashlight. As you can see now, the opening and the butterfly is at its normal state. Before cleaning this bottom side, the gap looked like what's up here. So there was a lot of buildup that was at the bottom. And now look at how much light it's actually coming through. And I can push this. You know, there's nothing, but I can push this. So this is, like I said, this is at its normal, I guess, state. Top is good. There was a little bit of a light, not much of a difference it made here, but the big difference that it actually made was how much I was able to remove here at the bottom. Probably the only problem I'll see whenever I fire this on is high RPM for a minute, because the computer has to relearn, I guess, remeasure how much air is flowing into it, whatever. I'm not gonna worry about it because the computer will do all of that. And now we'll begin putting everything back. I put the gasket in there. I ordered the wrong one, or the place that told me that it was a part number for this model wasn't actually, so I did order one, but it's too big. But anyways, I'll be reusing it. If I have any problems, I'll replace this. And to remove all of this is fairly simple anyway, so it can be done in 10 minutes. The whole cleaning process in 10 minutes. everything's installed, everything is tight. We tightened these two bolts, this bolt, we tightened this and that over there. Plugged in your mass airflow sensor because I had it disconnected. I mean, throttle body, plugged in the mass airflow sensor, and you'll hear it click whenever they're pushed in. And these two here is for your engine cover, which is on the floor over there, but I'll install it once I see no issues. So let's go start her up. Okay, so I don't know why after the first turn on it shut down immediately. I don't know why, so if somebody knows why it did that, please leave it in the comments and let me know. Right now the engine is cold. It hasn't been on for 12 hours, so this is normal idle, and I can hear the engine is slowing down. Engine runs good. Now we're gonna put the lid and take it for a spin.